Peeps Galucia here, bringing you another episode of my Minecraft FTB Infinity Evolved Expert Mode playthrough. Oh, hello, Stella. Hello, Kitty. How are you? Hello. So, I have mulled over some of the comments that have been coming in on the videos for suggestions on what to do as far as builds and what to do with all of our newfound toast power. And a lot of good suggestions. I appreciate it. Please keep them coming. So the first one that I'm going to highlight today, oh my god, Stella, you head butter, I'm trying to record, is from Sky Curtis. And he said that he wanted to see some armor that you have to charge so that I can go on more adventures to find things. I agree. We got the jetpack going, which is armored, and that gives us a little bit of protection, but other than that, I didn't really have a whole lot. The solar helmet gave me a little bit of protection, so pow. I went ahead and made nano boots, and honestly, it was because they're super easy. I didn't really need to show you guys how to make it. It just takes 4 pieces of the carbon what have yous and an energy crystal. The problem is I can't actually charge them, so they're worthless. They don't give me anything. But that and they don't charge in this, which I kind of thought they would, because the energetic infuser charges a lot of different things, but it does not charge these. So which means I'm going to have to make more actual industrial craft stuff. I'm going to have to make an MFE to charge these boots, which that is kind of expensive because it takes 4 energy crystals, which is like 16 diamonds. Like, that's pretty crazy. I'm actually pretty much out of diamonds now. What? Rain. So that pretty much rules that out. But I made it, and I found steel leggings. I actually found a skeleton spawner, and I was super excited about that. I had to go mining, get a lot of resources for today's episode, and I found a skeleton spawner. So I ended up getting steel leggings out of the deal. So I do have more protection now. Not what Sky asked for, but, you know, we're on our way. I also found a lot of iridium shards. So I was able to make 4 iridium ore, which is enough to make 1 plate of iridium. Now, technically speaking, if I wanted to make quantum boots, all I need are 2 plates. So if I find like another spawner or some random chests that have more iridium shards in them, I might be able to just skip straight to quantum boots, which would be pretty cool. But I can't charge those in an MFE. I need an MFSU, which is even more difficult to make. So that's pretty challenging. And the Latipatron crystal is also kind of expensive. Stella. My goodness, she's headbutting me so much. She wants all the attention. Hold on, let me give her some attention. So, that was one of the main things that I wanted to get to today, was to show you that I was working on that. Some other good suggestions that I like that I'd like to get to in later episodes, so I will save them. Won't highlight those right now. Some of the suggestions that were made are going to require more materials, and I've been working on gathering as much as I can. Like I said, I made a trip to go mining, but it's really time-consuming, and I don't always have hours upon hours to play Minecraft. So what I wanted to do today is work on setting up an industrial craft miner. We talked about an industrial craft miner a long time ago, and it's really one of the only automated mining systems that we can do in expert mode that is easy enough as far as mats go that's not psychotic. Because pretty much, like, other than that, the only other things that we can make is a mining, mining laser, and the, or is it a laser drill? No, laser drill, that's what it's called. The laser drill, and then, like, the ender quarry. So, I mean, this is certainly the first step out of those 3 things. So there's a lot of different components to it. So I made some of them ahead of time in here, just so we can see how it all goes together. So first, I'll show you the OD scanner. And the OD scanner is the component that goes inside the miner, for those of you that don't know, that actually scans for the ore. So this will give us a 5x5 mining area where, like, it's going to go straight down in a 5x5 and get any useful resources. That's what this does, okay? But the OV scanner, which I decided just to skip straight ahead and go to the OV scanner, which is missing something. What is it missing? The OV scanner scans in a 9x9 area, so much larger search area, which I figured, you know, we have all this toast power, so, like, let's skip straight ahead. Oh, that's right. I know what we're missing. Ha ha! The advanced circuit. I couldn't remember if I showed you guys how to make an advanced circuit. Significantly more complicated in expert mode. That is a very expensive recipe. All of which I actually had already, to be honest with you, except for the basic capacitors, which we've made in the past. But still, expensive nonetheless. I just couldn't remember if I showed you how to make an advanced circuit. But anyway, 1 million EU, by the way. This OV scanner, when it has to charge, and it's going to have to charge, it'll charge when I place it inside the miner, will completely drain my entire storage of energy in the HV outside. That stores 4 million RF. That's the equivalent of 1 million EU. So that alone is going to completely drain it. So power indeed. Speaking of power, here is the power unit, which is used as a building component for any of the power tools in industrial craft, which are pretty cool. Things like the chainsaw can be pretty handy, but I mean, honestly, like, I'd rather just make like stuff like the Almite hatchet. Like, Tinker's Construct tools are better used for like hand tools than the industrial craft power tools, but we do need to make one of them if we're going to run the miner. So that's how we make the mining drill. And then while I'm in here, that's how we make the mining drill. And then how's it go? Like this? It's like that? Yeah, there we go. And then this is the diamond chip drill, which that recipe also got more. It used to just be 3 diamonds. And then they added this whole thing, the iron turning blank, which thankfully I already had the turning table, but it's a lot to make just to do that. But I already had it, so there you go. And then we have to make a bunch of this mining pipe, which was about a stack of iron and like a stack of wood, give or take. I also made a gold chest to hook everything up to, so I don't have to worry about heading out to there too often to empty the chest, so on and so on. Now, of course, eventually almost forgot the power to hook everything up. Eventually, I could hook up the miner to, you know, like a system, like an item duct system or whatever, to send the items automatically to the house and have them filtered and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to worry about that just yet. Like right now, my biggest concern is just to get everything hooked up so that it starts digging, because that way, no matter what I'm doing, no matter what the video is about in, you know, any particular episode, this thing is digging. The only catch is that once it digs all the way down to the bottom, you have to come out here, retract the pipe, move it to another location, so on and so forth. So there is that element. But other than that, I mean, you know, pretty straightforward device, pretty awesome. So first things first, it had to charge, which it obviously just did. And now I'm going to stick this stuff in here, because this stuff is going to take a long time to charge, and it's not going to work until it's 100% charged. So this is going to start, like I said, it's going to drain my entire HV capacitor to charge all that stuff. Thankfully, I have a little bit of energy stored up inside the culinary generators. You can see that they have a decent amount of power stored up in some of them. Some of them are still empty, because I was using a lot of power up earlier building these components, like a lot of electricity going on. So we can just stick the chest next to it. Ooh, actually, no, we can't. That chest is worthless right now. So the miner has an internal storage, so it will internally store a small amount of items. But if you want to use a chest like I am, we actually need another component that I totally forgot about. So the ejector upgrade is the thing that I'm missing, and we have to stick that in there in the upgrade spot here or here. It's one of these two places, and that will enable this to be ejected into the gold chest. So we should make that really quick. But while we're over here, I want to showcase a couple things. So the better barrel is starting to fill up. I do need to eventually get better storage, but I mean, I could add more storage to this because it's a better barrel, so I can keep expanding it with more upgrades. I have 31 available upgrade slots. I've only utilized 4 of them, so I can definitely upgrade this some more, which is basically just a lot of wood. It just takes time. But, I mean, we're up to 62,000 toast. But this one has never been upgraded, so it only holds 64 stacks or 4,096 items. That's basically constantly full, and you can see that the farm is not really harvesting anymore. And the reason for that is that we are no longer using the standard Minecraft seeds, which for agricraft purposes are 111s for their stats. We are now using full 10, 10, 10s. I did manage to finish cloning all of the 10, 10, 10s and get this all in here. There was a good suggestion, by the way, from somebody else on how to do that, how to speed up the whole cloning process. So I could highlight that person's comment. Nunya. I don't know how to say your name, but I'll put it up on the thing. They said that you can use clippers on fully grown crops and then plant the clippings, and that'll be a copy of the seed, which is interesting. I didn't know that, but I had already finished cloning everything, and then I read that comment. I was like, oh, geez, that might have helped. But anyway, so that, because the crop is so good now, the harvester is just not working anymore because these machines are too slow. They're processing nonstop, and they're just too slow. I eventually want to upgrade them to better versions of themselves, because there are better versions of the pulverizers and the redstone furnaces, but there's really not a need right now because we're not using enough toast for it to matter. At least not yet. I'll see how much power the miner is consuming, like, on a consistent basis, and how much that's running the various generators, because I still haven't combined them into a single 8x generator, because I could always work on... I didn't mean to have my engine still on. I could always work on making more culinary generators if I get those 8 combined to just the 1, and then start making some more singles to eventually make a second, 8x, so on and so on. But I just hadn't worried about it just yet. So for this guy, we're going to need a couple pistons, which I might still have some in storage because I had so many of them before. I do. Okay, so pistons, check. The hopper we'll have to make. Okay, so 2 of those. So I'll need 8 of these. And I'll need a couple redstone for these guys. Also, before I was talking about some of the storage systems that are available in the game, and how there's an Ender IO storage system it's kind of like an ME system, but like the poor man's version of it. So we always call it the poor man on the server. And I was talking about how I was planning on trying to set one of those up to utilize my storage system here. But as I get more and more power together, and it seems to be, like, if I wanted to focus on toast power and really, like, make that a concentration of mine, that it would build very quickly. I need a chest for that? Okay. So, like, it would ramp up very quickly. Like, I could get the power situation out of hand very quickly if I actually focused on it. So, I'm thinking that I might skip the poor man and try to build an ME. I don't know, like, how difficult that's going to be for me to do. I've never actually built an ME before. I've never set one up before. That wasn't too bad. I've used it plenty of times, so I understand the concept. But whenever I used it, it was on a server where somebody else had set it up and kept fine-tuning it to make all the various what-have-yous work. No. Go there. For me to set one up, like, that would be pretty difficult. Like, I'm just really not sure exactly how that goes. Now, my buddy Bobby is one of the main peoples that I would say, like, would set that up usually, like, for the server. Like, he was pretty smart with that. Another friend of mine, Scaling Ash, was pretty good with those. So they might be good candidates for doing that, but still difficult because they're not going to be in here with me. I pretty much just have to go off of, like, either the wiki page and or, like, their guidance on, like, how to go about that. Okay, so then for the rest of the episode, I guess, well, I can't work on the MFE because I need diamonds. I'm literally down to 1 diamond, and I need 16. So hopefully the miner comes through for me and finds some diamonds. I should point out one of the other thing that we made here, since I didn't talk about it. The diamond tip drill there's 2 capacities for that. So the OV scanner, because it scans a larger area, this whole operation goes pretty slow with the regular drill because it has to dig through an entire 9x9 area, and the whole thing takes a while. If you have the diamond tip drill, though, it goes much faster. But because it's much faster, it consumes power at a much faster rate as well. So there's that to consider. The other thing is a regular drill stops when it hits obsidian. So if you do happen to hit obsidian, which is rare, but if you do, it won't stop and collect whatever's underneath the obsidian. It'll actually collect the obsidian as well, which is also helpful. I think it'll still stop on lava, though. It'll go through water, but lava will still stop it. So if it hits a lava pool, then we're done, which is unfortunate because a lot of times you can find good resources under lava for those few layers, but c'est la vie. So for today's episode, I'm going to try to wrap this up and make it a shorter episode, but as you can see, we have some great progress. I would love to show the miner, like, actually working, so that at least you can kind of get a sense of how quick it goes for those of you that maybe have never used it or whatever. I know a lot of people kind of skip industrial craft, even if they're playing FTB, and they don't really spend a lot of time with it, which I think is a shame. So the miner has a lot of great uses to it and should be respected. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to do like a nice jump cut to when everything is fully charged. And that way I can at least show you like the rate at which it digs and, you know, kind of how it operates. And we'll wrap up the episode like that. So, but anyway, so I'll do that. But thank you all very much for watching. I appreciate the view and support as always. And I very much appreciate the comments and suggestions on things to do. Like I said, there were other good suggestions that I'm going to take a little bit more time to look into. Next episode, I think we're going to get to some of the weapon suggestions that were made, because I agree I could probably go for some more weapons, so we'll be doing that as well, and some other interesting things. So thank you all, and I will see you on the next episode later. Okay, I started this video with my cat Stella headbutting me for attention, and I'm gonna end it with my other cat Sammy sitting on my lap for attention. Hello, Sammy girl. Hello. So, the miner has completed, and as I promised, for those of you that wanted to stick around, you can see more or less how quickly it goes. Obviously, it's not that quickly, but the nice thing is, I didn't really explain this in detail, is if you don't want a lot of the riffraff, meaning like stone and dirt and stuff like that, you won't get nearly as much with this as you will with a quarry or an ender quarry, because it's not going to get everything below it. Like, as you can see, there's still ground beneath us right now. It's only going to get... Oh, the water's going in. Oh, we can actually see the pipe. Look, there's the pipe. It's only going to get important stuff like copper ore and amber and, you know, anything like that, like any kind of ore or anything that you're using to craft stuff for the most part. But, like, your dirt, stone, gravel, sand, anything like that, it's going to skip it unless it's in the way. Because, like I said, it scans in a 9x9 area. So if it goes down 6 blocks and there's a piece of coal right here, then it has to dig the stone that's here and here to get to it, if that makes sense. Like, it's not just magically poofing it away like an ender quarry does. It's actually digging with a pipe. So it has to get the stone or dirt or whatever out of its way, so that also gets sucked up the pipe. So you get a little bit of this stuff, which is good, because I do need some of this extra nonsense for whateverness, but for the most part, it's going to be looking for this crap. So there you go. Miner in action. Hopefully, to our benefit, it, you know, quick... Oh, jeez. Sucked up my excess mining pipe when I tried to just shift-click it in. Appetite. So hopefully this is going to get some work done for us and get a lot of ore so that I can spend less time down in the mine shaft and more time up here building. That's the main key here, because if I can spend less time actually down there looking for materials, I believe I can start making more of these episodes. I've been posting them every Monday and Wednesday, and then I was trying to do Skyrim for Fridays and Saturdays, but I kind of fell off the Skyrim a little bit. I'm sure a lot of you have noticed that. So I still want to do that. Like, I have an episode that I recorded of Skyrim, like, literally, like, 3 weeks ago, I think now. And I just never got around to posting it. So I would like to post that at least. And then from there, look into still recording that. Like, it's still a game that I enjoy playing and everything. And I know that there were some people that were enjoying that series. But I'm not going to focus as much on it and do a twice a week thing. I'd like to try to just do one a week. But now that I have something digging for me, I'd like to see if I could squeeze a third Minecraft episode in every week. I'm sure a lot of you would appreciate the extra Minecraft episode. I know the majority of you prefer that as opposed to the other gameplays that I do. So I'm going to try to do that. So that's what hopefully you can expect. And honestly, like, the miner's a big part of that. Because it was really just a time thing. Like, I have a full-time job and 4 kids that need my attention, so it does get difficult from time to time to record, but I squeeze it in where I can, like now. So, thanks again for watching, and I'll see everyone later. The bonus material for those of you that care.